Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have a wonderful interview scheduled right now. Just waiting to get a little thumbs up from our audio guy, and we will get going here. But it's been a wonderful day, and we have some great weather coming up 60s all the rest of the week and weekends. So, we are sitting here with Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers, specifically Dave Biondo and Hurricane Dave. Richard Paine, the drummer. How's it going, guys?
Good, good.
Oh, we're
Glad to
great.
be here.
Yeah, we're Hurricane Dave. We're here to mess you up.
Love it.
Well, let's get right to it.
Exactly.
And then we'll come back and get to know Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers a little bit. I want to kick off with what you guys tend to open with live. A song called Tarzan and Jane.
All right. We'll be right with you.
Hit it. With members of Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers, a band out of Colorado Springs. We have Hurricane Dave Biondo, harmonica vocalist, songwriter, and you mentioned you played guitar, lap steel, and a number of other instruments.
Melodica, yeah.
Okay. And Richard Paine, drummer from Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers. First of all, how'd you come up with the name? I think it's one of my favorites.
Well, it wasn't really like I was thinking of anything but hurricane and harmonicas, because I was actually taken by a wind instrument that allows you to show you what mile per hour you have when you blow. and I was blowing at 160 miles an hour. So Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers, and I was thinking Hurricane Dave, and then Storm Chasers. I was like, yeah, they could follow me around for sure.
That's a great idea. And how long in its current form has Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers been
In the
together?
current form, about a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About a year.
Yeah, and we've been gelling, in the studio, really getting to know one another, and we enjoy one another. That's the best part. And then the other part is that the music is really starting to just grow at an exponentially nice pace.
Yeah. Yeah, a big market always for the blues and country and rock. I mean, you guys have a very diverse
I never
range of
I never had
genre.
any like blinders on for music. I think music is so exponentially beautiful that you have to have a palette.
No, I definitely agree. How long have you? So you guys, I do know you're coming up with some songs. You're in the studio and everything right now. How long have you guys been as a band recording together? Because you do have songs on streaming right now, One Full Media, on Spotify and everything like that. How long have you guys been recording?
Well, we haven't recorded the second record. The first record was a bunch of different friends of mine, but they didn't work out for the live stuff because they're too busy in other bands. So I came up with this incarnation of the band now, and now we're starting to write. We have 2 in the can, but we have 3 we're working on. I think when we're done with those, I think that's when we'll start recording.
Gotcha. Very
I want
nice.
to bring it out live too, so that we have some sort of. You want them to breathe a little, You don't want to keep them confined in the studio too much. So we're starting to do that.
Right. Gotcha. Well, we got a treat because we're playing 5 of your guys' songs during this interview, which is really
Yeah.
cool. So you yourself, Dave, how long have you been playing?
When I was 9 years old, I was in a fife and drum corps band, and I started as a drummer. And my teacher did a paradiddle, and he's like, this is a paradiddle, and I just emulated him, and he was like, how did you do that? And so that's where it started, and marched in a bunch of parades and stuff, and just loved the whole musical, I guess, nomadic entourage. Go from place to place and play. That really got ingrained in me. And then at age 18, I picked up the harmonica, and Sonny Terry was my first incarnation into the harmonica. And I just thought I could play like him, and I emulated him. There's so many greats, though.
Oh, that there are. I definitely agree with that. Well, I definitely want to get to all 5 of the songs.
Sure,
Here.
absolutely.
So coming up next, Claire Starbright. Tell us a little bit about this song.
Well, this is kind of funny because I was working with Jason. We were working on another song, and he goes, hey, I came up with this background, and I want you to do the lyrics. So I reached for my computer, because we write on Master Writer. And he's like, no. He just takes the digital handheld recorder and he goes, click. And I just recited these words. And actually, this song, we didn't change one word. We changed the position of the sentences, but that song came out just like that.
Very nice. All right. Well, coming up now then, Claire Starbright by Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers. We will be right back. Claire Starbright, and I must say, we were talking about this a little while it was playing. Very Tom Waits-ish with Nighthawks at the Diner. I love that album, and it definitely reminds me of that.
Oh, well, that's what I was going for, so thanks. But with this video that we did to the song actually was top 10 on Blues Blast magazine in 2022, and we were almost picked as the finalist. You know, we lost to Joe Bonamassa and Eric Gales, but
That's that great artist to lose to. I mean,
Yeah.
Bonamassa.
Not bad.
but I mean, you know, Waits is just so categorically undefined and so beautiful, and that's what I was going for there, was that sort of feel.
And I love the rhythm section, the double bass, fretless, and the brushes. Richard, how long have you been playing drums?
Since I was 17, quite a while ago.
And who influenced you to pick up the drums?
Well, there were a few guys. Ringo Starr, of course, which we heard, back then you heard him, you just went nuts. A guy named Frosty Frost, who played with Lee Michaels. It was just the organ and drums. That was real cool. Probably real influential was Lee Von Helm. And
Yeah, with the band.
just singing drummer, because I like to sing as well. But he's really a great drummer.
And was that easy to do? Start singing while every other part is moving.
Yeah, a lot of guys go, "How do you do that?" And it just came naturally.
Good.
Grew up wanting to dance. That was my passion. I wanted to do, but I was a little guy, like in second grade. But living in a farming community in California, it didn't go over well.
Like Footloose.
And so when I got into high school, I was playing trumpet through school, and got into high school and was in dance band, jazz band, and the drummer never showed up. So there was always 30 trumpet players. So I would jump over on the drums, and I was hanging out with some guys who were playing in a country rock band. Their drummer quit, so they said, "Hey, come rehearse with us." Did a gig 2 weeks later, and I went, "I'm dancing again," and I just love this. Moving my body, my feet weren't touching the floor really, and.
Do you still play the trumpet?
No, but we have an excellent trumpet player in the band, Matt.
Don't need to.
Matt, so he's
Matt Mearsh is our keyboard trumpet player, and he's
great.
just wonderful.
He's great. Yeah.
How many members are in the band? Is there 5, 6?
There's five. We have Chris Anderson on electric and double bass, and then we have Cameron Lodge, who a lot of people know because he's a teacher down at Guitar Center over on Colorado Boulevard. And then we have Richard here and me.
That's it. The Fabulous Five.
I like it. Want to talk a little bit about the gigs, because you guys have some gigs coming up.
We have one on April 26th down at Mother Muff's, and that's at 7 o'clock. And that's just on Colorado Avenue there. Right across from the chocolate factory.
How often do you guys try to play live? I know, with spring and summer coming and everything like that. Do you guys like touring live or playing a lot of live shows, or is it you like the studio?
We'd like to play a lot more live shows, but the scene is not real good or open to original music. Now we're starting to get a little, wow, who are those guys sort of thing, and so that's good. And we'll be up at Niecy's on May 14th. So again, we're starting to open up a little more. We'd like to do the festival circuit if we could. We have some private stuff too going on. So that'll be coming up.
And you guys definitely have a lot of originals too, but you also do some really cool covers. I know in our rotation you have a version of Riders on the Storm, and you throw a little Peace Frog in there too.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of do a melody of Doors, and I kind of heard that in the sequence because it's an E minor blues, and I changed the key on Peace Frog to E natural, just so we could throw it in and then facilitate back to the minor, and it worked.
Right. No, it definitely worked.
Oh, it worked. Yeah.
It worked really great. So we have three more songs. We have a half hour left, and so we definitely want to get into a little bit more on this.
You guys are definitely doing the heavy lifting today.
Yeah,
with all
you
these
guys
songs
definitely
brought,
are.
so.
Well, we like to write. That's kind of cool. I mean, I really enjoy it. I don't do it all the time, but if something comes through me, I got to capture it.
Who would you say is the main songwriters in your group?
I'm the main songwriter.
Okay.
But now that we have this band, Cameron contributes a lot, and Matt, from the standpoint of being a horn player, which, harmonica and horns are very close.
Yep.
So we're doing a lot of stuff together now, where I'll write sequences and Cameron will say, oh, well, this could go there, like this sort of thing. And then Matt's kind of like, no, this is what fits. And so we kind of juggle it around a little. And whenever we punt, but somebody's going to catch it somewhere and pick up on it, and we'll finish it. It'll become pretty precise.
Come in with an idea, and then
Yeah.
the rest of the band collaborates on it.
The transmogrification is nice. You put it through the top of the funnel, and whatever comes out the bottom.
And you guys have a lot of different styles too. When we were talking before this interview, kind of thinking about the way that we're going to put the songs, you're just like, yeah, we just like to catch them off guard with this, and then throw a little of this at them. And I bring that up because the next song, I remember when I first heard this a little while ago, it was just like, this song is fun. My Boat's Got a Hole in It. Great title, first of all. But what inspired this for you?
Well, haven't you ever heard of an Irish reggae guy doing like kind of bluesy sort of transmogrification of this blues into reggae, back into blues about his boat? It's just
No.
I'm not sure how.
great.
I thought it was Dean
Listen to
Martin
the song.
inspired.
Right, exactly.
And live, this song goes a lot of places. With the transition from the blues to the reggae, back to the blues, and then we go back to the reggae, and Matt just blows, and Dave, being the great wordsmith he is, just goes off the cuff and just keeps going. So it's
So
great.
there's a lot of improv in your live
yeah,
performances?
yeah, lots.
Yeah,
lots.
I mean, my whole thing is to create a band that doesn't have any sort of. I mean, we have charts and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I want to do stuff way out there.
Yeah.
Just do the improv to the point where we're just looking at each other and we're smiling the whole time.
Right. The band that can find each other on stage, whether he's going off or you're going off.
Yeah.
We
Great listeners.
We played Fritzy's not too long ago, and after we were done, the owner came up and goes, "You guys listen so well. Can we have you back right away?" And we eventually are going to play. We're playing there February 28th, so Friday.
Okay.
And we go on around 9, I think. So, it's about listening to one another and being conscious of where we are and where we can go. But we don't know where that is until we get there. And it's also room to screw up.
And then find your way back.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you mentioned a lot of shows already. I want to mention that you can find your list of shows, what you got coming up on the calendar on your website,
Yes,
I take it?
Hurricane Dave and the
stormchasers.com. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we've got a lot of work to do.
We do. We definitely do. I love how this one is kind of like your live let's have fun. And there's nothing like a band where, you can just go off and find each other, not find each other. And the audience has no idea, I think, for the most part, and that's the genius of it right there. So let's see what you all think about this one right here. Whether it's Dean Martin or Irish reggae guy. Here is Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers with My Boat's Got a Hole in It.
Mama, won't you save me, please? David Jones Locker is not for me. The waves are getting higher. I'm part of the sea. The sun's going down and I'm starting to freeze. Hey, pretty mama, mama, make haste. My boat's out of all water's up to my waist. Darling, call the Coast Guard, save our ship. Water keeps rising and it's up to my hips. Hurry, mama, for what the heck? Water's still rising and it's up to my neck. The mast is tipping starboard side. The sexton fell overboard. It's not like I never tried. Well, be my matey. She looks like a mermaid fishy lady. I need a net. I hope I don't fall. If you drink around to me, I hope it's not last call. Army bucko. I've run out of rum and lucko. This is Captain Morgan speaking to you. This may be my last broadcast. It was a 3-hour tour, I swear. Oh, now, mama, water's up to my head. Somebody throw out a lifeline. The river just said, sharks are coming round. I'm filled with dread. My boat's got a hole in it. And now I'm dead.
Well, ain't that a hole in the boat? My boat's got a hole in it, from Colorado's own Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers. Real quick, I want to ask you about Smoke Tone Records. Is that your own production?
Yeah, Smoke Tone Records was created. I was working with a guy for 11 years, and I was his side man, and we created that out of thin air after listening to Courtney Love say that don't sign with a record company. Make your own records, own everything. If they do a website for you or whatever, they own your content, your licensing, I mean,
Your
everything.
songs.
So we did that, and that's my record company, you know.
And do you mix and master all of your own music as well?
No,
that?
we do well. We go through Prodigal Production Studios, but I put it out through Smoke Tone Records.
Gotcha. Therefore, you can own it.
There you go.
And it's Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers.com right there. Want to talk, you threw in there something about your fan base that you wanted to talk about. So I got to ask you about that when it comes to your fan base.
What kind of people come to our shows?
Yeah, because, well, it's so interesting, and it's so, it's not something that you normally hear at all, which is why I love it, though.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious about the fan base that you have when they come in. You mentioned that in the emails when we were communicating back and forth.
I don't know that I know who our fan base really is because it's growing. Mm-hmm. But the best part about it is I would say tendency towards older a little bit. But then at the same time, I don't want to characterize exactly what it is because I don't know where it's going. Mm-hmm. But I would say somebody who knows more about music and likes music more than what the digital thing is doing now, you know. 'Cause
Definitely
we're up
fusion.
against the wall.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times it's like you just throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks, and then go with it too, which is what I absolutely love. might be a little too much for the younger generation, but definitely people who know music, know blues, know jazz,
Yes.
know the difference.
Genuine musicians.
Exactly.
I would say we're like the musicians. I would like to think that, like, we're the, like, Miles used to go around and see Charlie, all the time. He was his big fan. And then when they got up on stage and played, that was fantastic.
I'm curious, just because it's so eclectic, kind of what you do. What were some of both of you guys, all-time favorites when you were young? And if there was music in the house, like what did your parents listen to? What did you kind of grow up with?
Oh, my dad used to listen to all the Italian operas.
Really?
Yes, and he was a big Bob Dylan fan. So the cross between the two was there. And at the same time, he would listen to Beethoven and Bach, and so I got the classical thing, from the beginning. But then, of course, I had my own ideas, and I was listening to Grateful Dead, Marshall Tucker, Commander Cody, who I eventually ended up playing with and became a friend of George. What a magnificent man, actually. We could talk a whole show on that. But anyway, I mean, there was just so much at the time. Charlie Daniels was a big influence. And then hearing the New York jazz stuff was just so much. So you do hear a lot of what I heard back then in what I'm doing now.
Definitely. Definitely. What about you, Richard?
Well, my parents loved big band music. So
I
got
love
Mine
that.
did too.
Yeah,
That's what I grew
Glenn
up with.
Miller, Benny Goodman, all those guys. In fact, I just did a session for some friends in LA that did a bunch of standards. It was totally fun to go back and just drop bombs.
Yeah,
And,
and
do
it really
that kind of
develops your ear for melody as
yeah.
well, because
Yeah.
there was so much,
It was
so many
the-
melodies in that
Yeah.
kind of music.
Then as I got into high school, that band I talked about I got in was a lot of Buffalo Springfield, Richie Furay, Stephen Stills, Neil Young, but Poco. I was in a lot of country rock bands. Then in the late 70s, I got in a band with Jason, who owns Prodigal Sons and produced the record. We were in a band called the Twisters, which is verged on punk. It was great. It was crazy.
Interesting.
And
These
did
are
that.
the Whiskey A Go-Go guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had quite a band. That was interesting. It was pretty wild. But then we slipped back into playing Western music with a guy named Ray Doyle and in a group called Reach for the Sky, and it was a lot of fun. And then Jason introduced me to Dave and said, "Oh, this is great. A little out of my comfort zone, but let's go here." And it's my comfort zone now. I love it.
He would come in the studio and just go, "Wow, that's really good." It's like, great, somebody heard it.
So yeah, your influences are really coming from everywhere.
They're all-
Every corner of the earth.
And the other guys are Cam and Matt and Chris are a bit younger than we are. So you're getting that other influence. Sometimes they'll start playing stuff and I'll go, I don't know what that is. Is that music? But so there's this really wide, diverse,
Great dynamic between.
It's eclectic.
Yeah. It pulls from.
It's funny you should mention Poco, because Peter Cotton came in and I actually loaned him my guitars so he could play.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, you guys could probably do a 3-hour interview here with your stories. Just as what we're hearing when the song is playing is incredible too to our audience. But well, let's get to another one.
Yeah.
While we're at it, this one's called Blues Blowdown. What's this? What's behind this?
This
one?
was the start of really the record.
And this is what the album's called, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blues Blowdown shot me through the heart. Blues Blowdown's just a starring part. Tone of a God ripped right through. This is what connects me and you. Ride the tide, 'cause you can't hide. The blues got your number.
Love it.
tickles the senses from now till back then. All shots you don't know what's in art. Blues needs to be what you say. All the old ones not on heaven's door. Baby, Freddie, Albert, Ray King to the blues. That's all taken to a new place. Jumped out the door, soldier and time soul. This rabbit's going down a new hole. Blues blow down, shining through the hall. Blues blood out is just a star apart. The tone of a god, rips right through. This is what connects me and you. Ride the tide, cause you can't hide. I know you can find the blues got no number. Delta movement, we all love you. This isn't a story that ever ends. It's just the end of a chapter. I've come home to make it mend. Our world is now an endless chain. You have given me the better of all that was pain. God thank you for what you do. Let's take tribute. Now light the fuse. Blues blow down, shining through the hall. Blues blow down is just a star apart. The tone of a god rips right through. This is what connects me and you. Ride the tide, 'cause you can't hide. The blues got your number. Hey, take your number. Get in line. Get on board. This train is moving. Can't see whistle like cool wind blows. Move on out to where greener pastures grow. Delta blues, you entertain the whole world. Thanks for your tone. Thanks for your time. We got ourselves a new number. Rocket, let's roll with thunder. Stand at the crossroads. I think of you. Not much more to do, but sing the
Blues blow down Hurricane Dave and the Storm Chasers. We were talking while the song was playing, and you said that that song right there is one of the trickiest songs to play live. One of the, I guess, I wouldn't say hardest ones, but you said there's a lot of changes in it. So if you guys are not just right mentally with each other, then it just doesn't work.
It's a disaster.
Takes off.
There's a lot of parts to it because I wrote the groove in a slide on acoustic, so that kind of permeates, the actual song. But then there's a lot of stuff going on for him that's totally off the wall,
Right.
Right. And then the guitar players, they're trying to connect, and we're doing our thing with the piano and the guitar, and the bass is kind of somewhat wandering, not completely, but that's how it's a little eclectic, to play live, but it's coming together, it's really coming together. It's a nice song,
And you
and
said
it's about the blues.
Yeah, and you said it took a long time to put that together too.
The music took me 6 years to put it together.
Wow, that is impressive.
That's a commitment. And you also leave a lot of room. We talked about improving earlier, and as far as musicians at your level, do you kind of write around that fact that to leave a lot of room for improv?
Oh, it's always
Playing
it's
live
always,
or-
that's always in the back of my mind. I'm like, well, if I write this, where can we go with this? Can we have another substitution off of this that's just another realm, So I'm always thinking that way. I think all the songs we write have that.
Yeah,
Capability.
it's not only just listening well, but it's watching well.
Yeah, I was going to say eye contact means a lot up there too.
Especially in this song, we have to know. And David's such a wordsmith. He'll come up with stuff we're not used to, and then we have to watch. And sometimes he'll come in the middle of something, of a phrase. So if we're not watching and listening, it's going to go somewhere it doesn't want it. So it's kind of like this structured, non-structured thing that we do. But it takes a lot of watching and listening.
Of course.
And it's getting where we're used to that now. So it's growing and getting better. We're all getting really good at that.
So you're kind of like a blues, jazz, beatnik, rock, jam band.
Absolutely.
Jam band right there, yeah.
So all those things.
Yeah, they should hire us for jam band. Did you hear that out there? Hire us for jam band.
Festivals listening.
That's right. I bet listening to the live is just a lot of fun, right there. And
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to come check it out.
I guess I should talk a little bit about the festival circuit I was on, because I remember opening up for Dark Star Orchestra, and they had enough equipment for like 900 tons, I think. And we had to crawl across their stuff with our little stuff and, kind of put it on stage. And we started playing, and it started pouring. I mean, just dumping. And everybody went under the tents. By the third song, everybody was dancing in the rain.
nice.
That's, to me, is music.
That's a festival. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Listen to everything that guy's doing or that gal's doing. So I want to put out another whole CD. That you can only get 77 minutes. Damn it! But yeah, I want to come out with another CD, and I'm ready. We're ready. We're ready.
And can people get your CDs and everything off your website too?
Yeah.
Because